start with an opening statement from Coach and go on with questions.
First of all, credit to Kelvin and Houston. He's done an incredible job there. They do what they do, and they really expose your weakness as a team. But great crowd tonight. I thought the student section, they stayed till the end, and I was happy with our guys at the end that kept playing. Again, going back, it's hard to win games when you have as many turnovers as points and give up 20 points off those turnovers. But at times we were good, which is putting together the 40 minutes, and not having those 2-3 minute lulls that we have. Our margin for errors, slim, so those hurt us. But I think I was really happy with the group that competed at the end, kept playing.
You mentioned the turnovers, and obviously it wasn't. I mean, it's a high number, but it's not compared to what some games have been. But what does it say about Houston that they're just able to just pounce on you like that with their defense and then capitalize on the other end?
Houston is unique in a lot of ways. It was the first game in a long time where we didn't talk mostly about defense because offensively, if you hold the ball or you over dribble, they can really make you look bad. And you saw that when we ran up to the end of the shot clock. But no, they're good. They do what they do. They don't change very much. They've got a really good team, and they make it hard for you. Like I said, our margin for error as a team is small, but especially against Houston offensively, it's going to be that much smaller.
Coach, when you face a team like this that really kind of dictates things defensively, how much of a night like this is genuinely teaching them how to handle this sort of defensive pressure and just kind of the way they're able to dictate the tempo and all that?
And I've talked about that a lot this year about our team maturing, and we talked about it for the 2 days leading up to it about got to pass. The dribbling, if you dribble or hold it, they just really lock into you. And that was kind of the message through the timeouts. We execute plays, and we did a good job at times. But, again, the maturity and the growing and getting better of, okay, recognizing how they're guarding us, what works, and then continuing to do it is, we're getting better at it. But, again, they expose your weaknesses, and I think it's, you always want to win, but I think it's a good game for us as a team and individually to realize, hopefully we realize how far we need to go and what we need to work on.
Terrence had 12 points, but at times it seems like there's been lulls with his performance, like over the last few games. Has it been more so just teams putting him at the top of the scouting report and the defense is just there, or has it been just, a mental block in his head? And what can you do to kind of, help him get back to where he was, maybe earlier in the season in terms of production?
I think a thing all of us are learning is the Big 12 is a lot different than our non-conference schedule, and again, teams are going to hone in on him, and it's I'll give him credit. I think he's doing a really good job because his default is usually go harder and faster, but I think he's doing a good job of feeling the tempo and playing off the ball and letting it come to him rather than hunting shots or just letting it come to him, getting the ball to the second side. But again, like all of us, he's gonna continue to learn and grow. But again, teams are gonna take you out and might not be your night to score 20, but you got to do other things.
Emmanuel Sharp had 8 3-pointers. Seems like he was making them from everywhere on the court. What makes a guy like him so difficult, regardless of him actually having a night like tonight?
No. He's we talked about him. I think 7 of 10 shots he shoots are threes. In a game like tonight, we really focused on the rebounding because that's where I think they really bury you. Like they get the ball up and then they crash 2 or 3 guys and just smother you on the boards. But no, he had the 6 threes, and that was the difference in the first half. And again, we went into it. I didn't mind them making threes. There was 2 of them we showed at halftime that were mental errors on our part, not because it was him shooting it, but just we missed an assignment or we rotated when we didn't. But again, the paint and the turnovers and the rebounding are huge for us. So I mean, give him credit. He had a great game, but we didn't help ourselves there in a couple of them early.
Coach Sampson talked before you got in here about His first year at Houston, they were 13-19, and it was about establishing behaviors, establishing habits, and kind of their identity that first year. And so for you in your first year here at Utah, as frustrating as an outing like that can be, how necessary are these types of nights where you're competing against one of the top teams in the country?
No, it's a, you know what, I've admired Calvin. I mean, Calvin, I don't know him well, but he's one of the few coaches that he started at Montana Tech. And a lot of coaches nowadays don't work their way up from that place. And I'm sure there was a lot of long bus rides, but no, he's won wherever he's gone, and you're not trying to mimic them, but it's a great learning thing because they have a culture. He recruits a particular type of player, and I'd say like all the guys he has, lays out expectations before they get there. And I would say, all of his guys are high character guys and are part of the group. And that's, something that I think that we want to do the same thing here. Get that, those guys and build it where, it kind of attracts that type of player too after a while.
Coach, back-to-back games against some of the top teams in the countries. I know not the outcome you wanted, but are there some positives you can take away from this or something your team may have learned to kind of lay the bricks for the program going forward?
Yeah, no, I think we did a good job. I mean, I think Kansas, we did a great job. I think they were maybe looking a little forward to the game against Arizona 2 days later, but no, that's my message to the guys. Like not beating ourselves. Like we prepare them for the game, then after the game, you try to point out I keep saying it, our margin for error is small, but like those little things that matter. And we're getting better at it, but like those little things that you can control, you can do it every possession. Like you might not make shots, but you can talk, which we're getting better at. And we had a couple good defensive possessions, and then one guy didn't block out tonight, but something you can control and do every time. So I think we're learning that. And no, it's a gauntlet. It's been a great learning experience going through the Big 12 because there's a lot of good established programs, coaches, and systems, and it's I think it helps us with a vision for where we want to be in the future.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Obviously, Houston is one of the toughest defensive teams in the country. What's it like to be able to go against a team like that and just try to find your shots, knowing that both of you guys were ones that were the most effective tonight?
I say it's good. It's good practice for the stretch of games that we have to finish the season. Obviously, they're the best defensive team in the country, or in my opinion, at least that we've played. So just be able to kind of get that out the way and have a clear vision going forward is good.
Katie, Sadu, for both of you guys, these past two games, the last few days, you've faced two top 10 programs. A little bit of different style from both of them. What are kind of the positive takeaways you can take from it?
Just so we can really compete with everybody. I think this game probably got away from us faster than Kansas. I think it was about like the last 8 minutes in Kansas when things got away from us. But for the most part, we can really compete with any team. Now we just have to put it together for 40 minutes.
You guys only had 13 turnovers, and I know you don't want that many either, but they scored 20 points off of that. What's it like to play a team like that that's just so efficient and being able to really make you guys pay when you do turn over the ball?
Like Katie said, they're a great defensive team, so you just want to take care of the ball as much as possible. You just want to limit your turnovers. Like 13 is kind of a lot playing a top 10 team like this because they can execute of it every time. So got to take care of the ball.
Sadu, Houston has a great reputation defensively. Going out there and playing against it, what can you take away in competing against a team that's as effective as they are defensively?
I mean, it's a great program. Just going out there playing against that type of style of play, just they take pride in defense. I was talking to some of the guys after the game. I mean, that's their MO. So playing a team like that for 40 minutes is definitely a good test, not only for me but for the team. Just being able to execute, just going off the things that we've been working on all week against them.